Hi, everyone. How are you? Hope you are well. So, I'm a licensed real estate agent and a doctor of pharmacy. So, we're going to talk about the Airbnb business today. So, for Airbnb businesses, first you want to look for Google the top 10 hospitals. This is if you are targeting traveling nurses. Top 10 hospitals, preferably near airport. If you want to target college kids, you would Google the universities. And so, depending on who you're targeting, are you targeting the travel nurses? Are you targeting the college kids? There's also a different segment that some people target, which is insurance claims. So, when people have traumatic things happen, like fires or floods, and they need to get out suddenly, they go to their insurance company. And so, some people target the insurance claims area. So, there's different areas you can target, so looking depending on who you're targeting. So you're going to find a house. Some people go to the apartment buildings, but you can just look for a regular house, like a 3 bedroom, 2 bath house. You are explaining to the owner what you're doing. You're being transparent with the owner on what you are doing. And you're looking for verbiage in the lease against subletting. So make sure there's nothing in the lease that is against subletting. So everything that you're doing is transparent, it's out in the open, and you have an understanding on what your plan is here between you and the owner of the property. So you're going to rent it in your business name, and then you're going to sublet it out. You are going to furnish it before you sublet it, and then you're going to list it on the different sites: Airbnb, VRBO, furnished findings. So there is the Airbnb, but midterm rentals, there's a thing called midterm rentals. And so with midterm rentals, they stay in your property longer. So it can be 30 to 60 days or even longer, as opposed to Airbnb, which is very short term. So midterm rental is even better because they're staying there longer. There's less turnover. There's less work that needs to be done. Midterm rental. So that's better. So you could do Airbnb route, which is shorter, or you can do the midterm rental route, which is longer. Then you're going to look on a site called AirDNA to see what the going rate is, how much you can charge per night. So you're charging different rates based on what area the house is in. And so you can easily see that on this website, AirDNA, to see what you're going to be charging. And you want to do that beforehand to make sure that you can charge enough to make a profit. So you're going to do all your calculations beforehand to make sure that you are actually getting a profit out of what you're doing. And so this website will easily tell you that, how much you can make per night, and then you can calculate the profit that you're going to be making. So, what are the pros of doing this Airbnb or midterm rental? The pros is that the startup cost is less as opposed to long-term rental. The startup cost is about $10,000. That's the cost of getting the furniture, and there's also that some have that where you have to do the security deposit. So it includes all of that, all the little fees that come with it. Another pro of this is that you don't need a loan. So you don't have to go to a bank and qualify for a loan, or you don't have to borrow money or any other way that you would get money. You don't need to do that because you don't need a loan. You don't need a lot of money to start doing this. Another advantage is that you don't need a huge down payment, whereas other properties, you would be required to pay a down payment. So here, you don't need a huge down payment. Another pro is that you're going to be making 3 times the amount of money that you would make with a regular long-term rental. So you're making 3 times as much money. Another pro is that doing something like this can make you financially independent. It can free you from your job where you're making the same amount of money that you would make from a job or more. So this business can make you financially independent. Another pro of this business model is that it doesn't matter if you did everything in your life incorrectly. Say, for example, you never invested. Um, think of all the worst case scenarios that could have gone wrong in your life. Say you never invested. Um, say you never worked or you didn't work that much. Um, say you don't have that much money to your name right now. Say, for example, you need help, but you're trying to figure out where you're going to get help from. Maybe you're in a bad situation economically. Um, whatever else could go wrong in your life. Say you didn't do the things that you were supposed to do because maybe you weren't aware of the things that you needed to do to be financially stable in latter years. Uh, say say you are in your latter years. Let's say that you are in your latter years. Maybe I'm just trying to think of all the worst case scenarios that could be happening. So the pro to this business is that it doesn't matter if you're in a worst case scenario right now. It doesn't matter if you did everything wrong in the past. This kind of business, you can start with a minimal amount of money and you can make enough money, the same amount of money that you would be making on a job. So it's kind of like a helpline, if you will. Like you throw out a line or call and ask somebody for a line. This is that kind of business. So that is another pro to this kind of business. So I do know one woman who makes 10,000 a month doing this. So she ignored me as far as being interviewed, coming on to the show to be interviewed. And then there's another guy out there who, okay, the woman, she does Airbnb. Okay, she ignored me. Now there's a man out here who does midterm rental, and he makes $1 million a year doing midterm rental, and he ignored me. So if you could just see the possibilities, if you choose to go the Airbnb route, or if you choose to go the midterm rental route, there is a lot of possibility in this business. Now, everything is not 100% perfect, as you know. So some of the cons of this business is that you don't own the property. Another con of this business is that since you don't own the property, you're not getting appreciation. And as you know, appreciation is, say, for example, you bought a $50,000 house. Now it's 79,000. Now it's 150,000. Now it's 200,000. Now it's worth 250,000. Now it's worth 300,000. And then if you keep this house for 30 years, you can just imagine how much this house is worth because it's in an appreciating area. So that's what you get with appreciation by actually owning the property. So in this business, there's no appreciation because you don't own the property. So that is the con of in this business. But what you can do is you can do a mixture. You can have your long-term property over here. And then over here, you can do Airbnb if you choose, or you could do midterm rental if you choose. So it's not an all or none. You can have a mixture. So this long-term property is for your wealth accumulation, your appreciation. You are building wealth for you, for your family, for the people who come after you. And then your Airbnb or your midterm rentals, whatever you choose. This is for cash flow. This is, you don't have to work if you don't want to. Or you have this extra money and you work. If you are the kind of person that doesn't like to sit around doing nothing, you can work a regular job and you can have this business that's making the same amount of money as your job or making even more than your job. Like I said before, this business will free you from your job. So you can have this mixture going on where you're having cash flow over here and you are having the long-term hold strategy for appreciation and wealth. All right. So this is the short-term rental business. Short-term rental business. And within the short-term rental business is your Airbnb, your midterm rentals, whatever you choose. All right. So this is the basics of the information. Of course, there is more details involved. If you're interested in accumulating property in a group, you can check us out. That's what we do, is buy property. So if you like the show, please hit the like button. It helps the channel. Please hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber and notification bell next to it so that you won't miss the episode. Also, leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your nights.